What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we scaled Death Mountain and challenged the Goron Elder to a sumo wrestling match in which we kicked his old behind. So now, as a result, we can freely enter the Goron Mines, which is the second temple of the game. Now, of course, the reason why we're going in here is because we want to get another Fused Shadow, but the Gorons also need our help. You see, their Patriarch went in here, touched some random treasure, and transformed into a horrible, hideous monster. So now it's up to us to defeat that monster, save the Patriarch, and get ourselves that Fused Shadow. So as you can see, this is sort of the fire/lava dungeon of the game. It's actually pretty cool, but I do have one problem with it, and this might be just me, but because of the intense heat, it does that weird thing with the camera where it makes it wobbly, and believe it or not, that actually does give me ever so slight motion sickness, and it's weird because that's the only thing in games that actually does that. Alright, so we have a lava plume here, but basically to get past this, what you want to do is head over to the switch, step on it, and then equip your iron boots, because I guess these switches were made for Goron, so you need to be a little bit heavier to actually activate them. And again, over here, another plume, so you want to do the same thing for this switch. Now, when you do activate them, they are actually on a timer. You can probably hear the ticking in the background, but specifically for this one, you want to be a little bit quick about it since you do need to cross it again over here. But once you make it to this ladder, you're pretty much in the clear. So now, once you get up here, let's just jump directly across because there's actually a chest over here and a new enemy. I believe that's a lava slug or a fire slug. Kind of weird enemies, but they go down rather quickly. More importantly, though, we got ourselves a red rupee. Pretty nice considering we did spend a lot of money on our Hylian shield, so it's nice to make that back. Alright, so let's just cross over here now, and right down this little, I guess, pathway is another lava spire, but more importantly is this lava slug. So now that we've taken that out, it's sort of cleared the path because the button to deactivate that lava spire is all the way on the other end. So as soon as we hit this, we gotta run all the way down to where that lava spire is, and taking out that enemy is crucial because if you don't, chances are you will run into it and it will slow you down, and then you won't be able to make it past the lava spire. So make sure you do that first, and then you should be fine. You could also risk it, but you know, why bother? It only takes 2 seconds. Now, do not jump down once you get here. Instead, jump onto this metal platform and equip your iron boots because this is actually a switch, and weighing it down will open up this gate, which will lead us to the next area. You do not want to forget to do that. Trust me, it's a pain in the butt if you do. Anyways, though, right through here is the, well, I guess you could say it's the hub room of this dungeon, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on in here. Specifically, though, these weird cranes with the blue material underneath them. We'll find out what that does in a little bit. For now, let's actually go left in this room because if we go to the right, there is a locked door eventually, and since we can't open that yet, there really isn't much to do over there for us at this particular moment. So, holy crap, I jumped really far just to finish that guy off, but I guess it was kind of cool. Alright, so now those guys are gone, let's just open up this chest and see what's inside this bad boy. So there we go, we got ourselves a small key, and now we can actually open up that locked door that I was talking about. So let's make our way over there, and while we're doing that, I guess I can sort of talk about this temple a little bit, because this temple, while it is cool, it does have some glaring issues with it. And I guess my problem with it is that it is way too simple. The puzzles in this temple, if you even want to call them that, are just so incredibly simple. They are not complex at all. You barely need to think to solve anything in this temple. It's almost at the point where it's why even bother putting in a puzzle if the solution is literally spelled out for you and it really does not take any brain power to solve. Real quick though, this is actually a new enemy. That's not really a new enemy, it's a Dodongo, but we haven't seen one in this game yet, and yes, that's what they look like in Twilight Princess. Kinda weird, especially if you're used to like the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask, or even Hyrule Warriors style of Dodongos. Real quick though, I want to point out that wall that's blocking our path. We're gonna do something about that in just a little bit, but I guess that actually is a good example of a puzzle that is ridiculously easy to solve. So it's blocking our path right now, but just watch. As soon as we jump over to this area in front of us, the solution is already just spelled out for us. Let me take care of this other Dodongo real quick, just so it doesn't bother us, and then I'll sort of explain, you know, what I'm talking about. Oh, and by the way, if you want to switch targets, like, you don't have to, like, manually do it. As soon as you strafe around, the game will automatically, like, switch to targeting onto his tail, which is really, really helpful. Anyways, so the solution to this highly complex puzzle is quite literally grabbing this chain and pulling it out. Now, I know this is only one example, but trust me, the rest of the dungeon is kind of similar, and I guess this is slightly more complex since, you do kind of want to wait until the lava is going down. That way you can run all the way around to where we first saw that, wall, because it will slowly go back to its original position. But yeah, it's really, really easy to get past, and they give you a lot of time. Anyways, we will actually learn something interesting in this room. So as you can see, there is an exit on the top, and would you look at that? There's that weird blue stuff that we saw on the cranes in the hub room. We're actually going to learn what that is in this room, and that sort of adds just a new layer to this temple. Not really anything complex, but let's just go and step on this switch real quick. And check it out, it will pretty much just bring us all the way up to this blue stuff, which is more or less just a magnetic material. So there are magnetic rays that will bring you to it, and then as long as you have your iron boots, you are sticking to that stuff like glue. Anyways, we actually made it to the first Goron Elder inside the temple, so what do you say we talk to him real quick? Ah! I thought I felt a presence, but what a surprise to find a young human! Word has come to me of you, and if Goron has faith in you, then your heart must be true. I am one of the 4 Goron Elders. Goramato is my name. You are heroic, young human. Please, you must lend this tribe your power. Alright, and he gave us a key shard. This is one of 3 that we need to find. That is one of the key shards that, when merged together, form the key to the room where Dark Beast is being held. He is our patriarch. The key is split into 3 pieces. Each of us elder keeps a piece. You must hurry to the other elders. Yeah, calm your cane, I'm working on it. First though, I want to open up this chest because, well, it contains something very important. It's the dungeon map. So there we go, now we can see the entire layout of this area. There's also another chest back here that I want to open up. This one, nothing really too important, but it is a red rupee, so we can just pad out our wallets some more. Let's climb this ladder though, because this will actually take us up to, I guess, the 2nd floor of this room, and that's kind of how you want to exit, because remember, like, in the last room I was pointing out how it had a exit right above us. Well, this will pretty much lead us to that exit. First though, let's pick up this pot, because we saw something inside it, and wouldn't you know it, it's the Uku! Phew! Free at last! Gracious, you're that nice fellow who helped me out the other day. How nice to see you again. Well, now that we've found each other again, let's stick together for a bit, I'll be right with you, so if you want to warp out, just let me know. Alright, so we reunited with our pal the Uku. And I should probably make this a little more clear. Uku is actually this thing's name. It's part of the Uka tribe, which we haven't actually seen yet, but I want to make that distinction because someone mentioned it in the comments before. Anyways, let's plop on our iron boots, that way we can literally walk on walls and make our way over to that, 2nd exit that we saw earlier. What's cool about, like, using the iron boots to walk on the walls and stuff like that is that you can still actually use your sword to fight enemies, although it is a little bit harder, I must admit, just because, well, you know, you're moving a little bit slower and you're not quite as agile. Anyways, let's activate this switch, and whoop, there we go, up to the ceiling. Alright, so, while we're up here, let's actually walk down this sort of, like, right path because, believe it or not, there is actually a chest with an item in it that is very, very important. I think you actually do move slightly faster, like when you're targeted onto something and you're sort of like jabbing at them, so I might try to do that just to speed things up a little bit while we're walking on like these magnetic platforms because, my gosh, you move so incredibly slow. Anyways, let's open up this chest because, well, guess what's inside? It is the first of the 2 pieces of heart in this temple. Now, this is sort of another complaint I have with this temple. It is very, very linear. Like, there's really only one way you can go, and you really can't get lost, at least not that easily. Like, you'd have to actually try to get lost in this temple. Plus, a lot of these magnetic platforms, like, there's not too many incredibly long ones, but they do take a long time to traverse. Like, this is probably one of the longer ones in the temple, mainly because we have to go sort of towards the back of this room, and then loop all the way around to the front, just so we can continue exiting these rooms from the 2nd floor exits. This is actually the same room in which we first saw the Dodongos. But yeah, like, I guess the linearity of this temple combined with the really, really simple puzzles just sort of makes it a little forgettable in my eyes. And it's a shame because this temple has a lot of really, really good concepts. I just feel like they didn't use them to their fullest extent. Like, if they made the puzzles just a little bit trickier and the temple wasn't so easy to figure out, you know, where you need to go next, I think it would have been a lot better. But I guess since this is really only the 2nd temple, they didn't want to ramp up the difficulty all that much, so I guess I can sort of see where they're coming from. But still, I mean, as a result, I feel like this temple is just something really, really easy, simple, and somewhat forgettable, like I said. Alright, let's hop down off here and actually go through this door now because, well, guess what? This is going to lead us right back into the hub room, except now we're on sort of this central platform, and check it out. There's another switch that we want to press, and that one is very important. You'll see why once we actually do press it, but for now, let's go and take out all these enemies that are sort of in our way and preventing us from doing our job. I mean, we could technically just go and press the switch, but I mean, with these guys all surrounding the platform, might actually be kind of difficult, so might as well just take them out to make our lives a little bit easier and junk like that. I'm curious though as to what you guys actually think of this temple. Like, I gave you my opinions, so now give me yours in the comments below. Anyways though, we step down that switch, which of course will activate this central crane, and pretty much what this is doing now is rotating between 3 different areas, back towards the beginning of the temple, where we are now, and where we actually want to go. So more or less, this just created a shortcut for us. So we're going to stand right here, put on our iron boots, and wait for this thing to take us up to the ceiling and bring us over to the next area of the temple. But this is more or less just like a stop-off station because, well, check it out. There's another switch that we need to hit. So let me just take out all these enemies real quick, and then we will press this switch because, well, guess what? As soon as we activate it, it's going to turn on another crane for us, and this one will take us up even higher in this area. That way we can, you know, continue moving on through this temple and so on and so forth. Pretty basic stuff, honestly. You guys really didn't need me to explain that, but whatever. Regardless, now that those enemies are gone, let's just move on through to this next room and check it out. We're actually going to see a new older enemy again. These guys are Tektites. They're a little weird in this game, honestly. I kind of like them, but at the same time, I don't kind of like them. And oh my gosh, stop jumping on me, guys. You're really... Alright, these guys are actually wrecking my face right now. Normally, these guys are really easy to, you know, just take out, but being kind of weird. Alright, there we go. Now that they're all gone, we can actually start doing stuff in this room. So, first things first, come over to this corner of the room and use your iron boots to sink down. That way we can open up this chest. And it's really important because this chest actually contains a small key, and trust me, you want to get this first, that way you do not forget about it. now that we have that, though, let's just swim over to this opposite corner because, well, there's a block under there. So let's sink down, and we can just push this out of our way. Oh, by the way, Link has an oxygen meter that appears underneath the hearts when you're underwater. So make sure you keep an eye on that so you don't drown while you're underwater. Alright, so let's activate this switch. And, well, check it out. It's going to create another magnetic ray that we can just jump right in and go up to the ceiling. Are you guys sort of seeing a trend? Yeah, well, get used to it because there is still a lot to go. Speaking of which, check it out, another button. Alright, let's press this bad boy. And guess what? Another magnetic ray that we need to fall into. Oh, man. Alright, I'm gonna do my best to, you know, not focus on, like, negatives anymore. Because I kind of like to be positive in my videos, and I know a lot of you guys don't really like it when I, you know, focus on too many negative things or just bash on a game too much. So I'm gonna try and avoid doing that, although I will state my opinions of a particular thing when we get there, but I'll try now and focus on them. Anyways, we got ourselves another 20 rupees. Very nice. Now, once you get over here, just hit this weird crystal switch. It takes like a few seconds to activate it, but it does actually open up this gate to the next area. Now, it is timed, so be a little bit quick to get through here, but you should be able to make it perfectly fine no matter what, like, unless you fall into the water or something like that. Now, these weird, like, rotating things up here, those are actually BMOS in this game. It's kind of weird, but I do like the design, not gonna lie. Alright, so we're gonna ignore those for now, though, and instead just walk up this wall. Now, you can actually go to the left, and if you want to progress, I would recommend going there. But first, let's go to the right because, well, there's something far more important than progression. It's a chest, and inside this chest is something that you definitely want to get if you plan on 100%ing the game. It's actually the second heart container for this temple. So again, really easy to pick up. Alright, oh dang it, I was kind of hoping we could actually land, like, right back on this blue stuff, but oh well. Yeah, because there's no, like, slant to go back onto this stuff from that platform where the chest is, you gotta go all the way back down to the bottom and then walk all the way up again. Not really a big deal, though, because, well, we're already back up here. Now, once you're up here, the only thing that you want to do is actually go up to this rope and just cut it with your sword. That will sort of, like, let this drawbridge fall into place. And check it out, there's the locked door that we needed the key for. So, let's actually just drop down over here. That way we can completely avoid those BMOS and just walk through this door completely unharmed. Now, once you get into this room, well, guess what? There are some enemies in here, and they really just do not like the fact that you're here. So, they're gonna constantly shoot fire arrows at you. Now, just keep moving, and for the most part, you should be able to avoid all of them, but you can, like, you know, stop and deflect them with your Hylian shield if you wanted to. Instead, what I like to do is literally just run over here as fast as you can. That way you can open up this small chest and get another small key. Now that we have this, we're actually just gonna run all the way across this area, trying to avoid getting hit by any fire arrows, and unlock this door. There's really nothing that I want to do in this room right now anyways. Alright, so now that we've made it safe and sound into this room, we're actually close to another Goron Elder. So all you really want to do is come up onto this platform, make it to the middle fast, and then put in your iron boots. That way when this thing, you know, rotates upside down, you don't accidentally just fall into the pit below or whatever is down there. I think it might be water, but yeah, just make it across and you'll be fine. But check it out. Inside this next room is the second Goron Elder. So let's go and talk to him. What's up, buddy? Oh, the young human. I am pleased to see you make it this far, brother. I am one of the 4 elders of the Goron tribe. I am called Gorebzio. You have heard of the plight of our patriarch. Otherwise, you would not have come to see me. Here, take this, brother. Alright, so we got ourselves the second key shard. Only one more left. Now, there is one more shard, but seeing you has reminded me of the dangers that line the path to it. There is something that may help you. A weapon said to have been left in this mine by a hero of old. is beyond price, and so we have protected it through the generations. Now, when our tribe balances on the brink of ruin, it could aid in our salvation. The hero's weapon is stored safely up ahead. Talk to the guards and take it with you with the blessing of the Gorons. Alright, sweet man, appreciate it, but first, I'm actually gonna come back here and loot this chest of yours because, well, it contains a yellow rupee. Fantastic. And of course, just like with the other Goron room, make sure you climb the ladder and exit from the second floor. Now, we're actually close to the mini boss of this temple, believe it or not. It's actually sort of in the next room after we, exit this area. We're not going back to that room with all those enemies shooting the fire arrows at us. Instead, we're gonna go off to the right. So let's just hop on this wall and get over there. But first, before we actually go through that door, I believe there is actually a chest that we can get. So let's just keep moving along this wall until we get about... here should work. So let's just jump down, and wouldn't you know it, here's the chest. So let's open up this bad boy and get ourselves, yeah, just another yellow rupee. Nothing too special. Anyways, like I was saying, the mini boss is right up ahead, but you know what? We're going to take that on in the next episode. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.